Well, hello on this Sunday morning, and this is another effort of mine to create an off-topic or random video. And um, this is Antoinette 70. Thanks for watching. And I know some people have been wondering, okay, how come we haven't really heard from the person? You know, I don't know. I've been testing out different ways to do different styles of video, and I guess it's just something that I'm just like kind of randomly testing out. For one, the sound quality on it. This is a program that I'm using. I don't know how good it is, but anyway, um, probably in the near future, I will be getting some better video or ways to promote video. I'm not really on here as often as people would think. Um, so anyway, I know I had done some videos before, and sometimes my videos are on political issues somewhat, and then other times it's about relationships or it's about black relationships or people of color, if you want to call it, more like social issues, people blogs. So sometimes I'll do like random videos, and then other times I'll do videos on like incidences that happened like more recent. Um, and it may not be one issue; it could be like several different issues. But I noticed that I think the reason why sometimes I'll add in relationship videos is because that seems to be the big deal. And I don't know. I think people need to get out of this thing of thinking or assuming that people want to be in relationships. Not everybody wants to be in relationships. They might have already been in relationships, so they may be taking a break from relationships. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be intimate with people all the time. So I guess some people are like driven like that. There are some people that think that you desire to be with someone so bad, and if you're not with them or you're not with someone, something must be wrong with you. And some people maybe they like being single. I think some people just don't get it. Everybody doesn't always want to be tied down um, underfoot and toe with someone, or maybe they're waiting for someone they feel comfortable and compatible with. Um, And so that is the reason why I'm doing this, because I feel like people are really confused, some, um, about what some people's desires are, because not everybody is always wanting to live with someone. Sometimes some people want the freedom of dating or having an occasional companionship, but they may not want to be in a committed relationship. There's a lot of things going on, and so maybe that might be the driving force that causes people to go into these hiatuses where they don't really want to commit to one individual. I believe there's going to be a lot of changes in the near future, and I've said this. I don't know if I said this, in the last video that I created, that I believe there's going to be a lot of changes in relationships and how people view relationships and how people want to be in, whether they want to be in one or not. And this doesn't necessarily mean that, the person, may just be straightforward. They may have a person that they are in like a certain type of relationship. So there's different types of relationships that people may be involved in, necessarily be a marriage. It may not be boyfriend, girlfriend, or boyfriend, whatever. Um, it could be that the person, they want to have their autonomy, they want to be able to thrive in their careers. They may have an agreement with someone that they're just strictly on a dating basis, and there's no strings attached. There are relationships out there like that where there is no commitment. And I believe there's going to be a lot more changes with marriage now that there's all these controversies that have come out. I really do believe that everybody is not in school. You know, living in the 1950s, 1960s, it seemed for some they may think that it was a simpler time because there's one way or one group that it appeases to. And so if you could think of some of the bad things that happened in the 50s and 60s, people who maybe remember those times, they might tell you, you know, the 50s and 60s was not simple for everyone. There might have been, you know, Jim Crow laws, racism was more accepted as, you know, law, and some of the things that people, the liberties that people have today were not even thought of as being counted as something that is afforded to people from different marginalized backgrounds. And I think a lot of the reason why the whole controversy behind the relationship thing is starting to unfold and change rapidly because we're coming in an age of a new generation, a new time, a new awareness that one way of thinking doesn't work for everyone. One belief system does not work for everyone. And it would be nice, I guess, maybe for some who don't like change, they like things to stay the way they are, everybody believes the same thing, does the same thing. That just doesn't happen with everyone. Everybody is not from the same religion. Everybody is not in a religion. Everybody is not desiring to be in committed relationships necessarily the same way as the next person that you would think, oh, they're in a marriage, oh, that person is, you know, everybody does not do the same things. You know, a lot of this you get for people who are from a different generation. And then you have some people who learned it from people who were from another generation prior. And so they think that everybody's supposed to be a certain way and act a certain way. And it just doesn't happen with everyone that way. It's people with the blinders mentality, the horse blinders mentality, where they have this tunnel vision and they can't see outside of it. And if it doesn't work or it doesn't correspond to the way they've been taught, then it doesn't work for them and no one else. And some people are pretty much, they preach this in their platforms, and their style of who they appease to is those people who think with like-minded attitudes. And they believe in, you know, women should stay in the kitchen, you know, men should be the head of the household, and, you know, women shouldn't work. And, you know, a lot of these concepts were like back in, you know, the dinosaur times. And that's just an exaggeration of mine. I just feel like people need to kind of grow up and see what's really going on in the world and go outside of their neighborhood and try to not be afraid to venture outside of their belief system and see what other people's practices and the way they think are their religions or not non-religions or how do they live their life. I'm not saying that people necessarily have to agree with somebody else's lifestyle, if they feel uncomfortable with it because it's not something they've been used to or they've been taught a particular way. But sometimes some of those teachings are fear because people really don't know and they have not ventured outside of their neighborhood, or they have not, or they maybe they have like racism within their heart, and they don't want to learn about other cultures. They don't want to learn about other people or other genders or other relationships and backgrounds, music, whatever. Um, Religious people, non-religious people, they kind of want to believe the stereotypes because it's their comfort zone, because they have a fear of learning something that they've been taught could have been a lie. It could be wrong. That what they've always believed in may not be the truth for everyone. It may not be facts. It may not be right. There may be some flaws in what they've been taught. Or if you want to put it more in a common sense way, that what they've been taught was a tradition, a culture and customary value that has been handed down from generation to generation. And so when you come in contact with someone who is no longer following that, or they choose to go a different route, somebody has a problem with it. And I believe that's what's happening in this day and age, is we're having a lot of people who are learning that everyone doesn't always follow customary traditions. And it's just like when people come from some countries where they've been told that they already have a mate and it's already planned who they're going to marry, and that the parents know who their son or daughter is going to be paired up with, or in a union with, or married to. Some younger people from those traditional families may say, no, I don't want to do it this way. I want to be able to go out and choose my mate on my own, whether you like it or not. And that may not sit well with everyone. But you have to let people grow, and you have to let them explore and learn for themselves. It could be a good thing, or maybe they could learn a lesson from it, that it isn't always, what you thought it would be. Maybe it is. Maybe they feel there's more freedom in choosing who they feel compatible with. What you like is not necessarily what your kids like. When they become adults, they're no longer babies. They're responsible for themselves. So when they make a decision, you can't always get in the middle and say, well, I don't like who you chose as a mate. You may not agree with it. Maybe you're not happy with it in the beginning. But who knows? Maybe they're happy. Some people don't realize that the more you push people to do something else, is the more they will push away from you. If you're telling them, I don't like this, I don't like that, you can give them sound advice, and you can tell them all of the do's and don'ts, or you could tell them like maybe situations where it could end bad, to warn them. And you might even want to intervene, but sometimes it can be more destructive to not let people explore for themselves to find out, okay, this is not the thing for me. What was for someone else is not for me. What was for the next person worked for the next person may not work for me in the same fashion. And I believe that's where we're coming of age here, is that people are starting to express more of their opinions and how they feel on issues. Like I saw a video where there was this one lady, and she had these big, huge dreads, and if you've seen her from looking at her, you would think she was just pro-black because the way she, her appearance looked real Afrocentric. But she was the total opposite of being pro-black. It was more like she was anti, you know, she was, she's anti-feminism, she's anti, she's calling all the black people racist, black racist. Um, and it didn't sit well with some black folks. They got upset and they got in a heated debate with this woman and they went toe to toe with her online. And some of the things that the words, some of the conversation that was passed to this woman was really, it was out of frustration because a lot of black people have felt like there's been a lot of unfairness over many generations, a lot of different areas with education, with housing, a lot of racism, hidden racism. We're seeing movies there, people are coming of age, they're being more conscientious about, black or Afrocentrism or African culture, um, people of color from different places. They're expressing some of the issues that they've been faced with in their countries. How does it pair with African Americans in the States? Is it the same? Is it different? Is it a different experience? Because not every black person of color has the same experiences. Because I've said this in videos that every black person does not come from the same neighborhoods and backgrounds and cultures. So what some black person in London or England may experience may be a whole lot different from what someone in California or in Wyoming experiences. And so that this is where some black people will collide, people of color will collide and have differences of opinion because, two, also economics play a part in it. If you have, just like there are wealthy whites, maybe wealthy Hispanics, there are poor Hispanics, poor whites, there are some wealthy colored people, and there are poorer colored people. And a lot of times it's always put out there on the internet by even, talk show hosts and commentators, whether male, female, they'll always say, oh, black people are poor. And I kind of feel like that they need to stop doing that. We know that there has been problems. We don't need you to repeat, oh, black people are poor. Because when you do that, you bring life to that negative energy. And then other cultures that maybe they're not black or maybe they're from a different country and they're black, they may not even be experiencing the same thing that some group of people in a small town of Detroit or Baltimore or a little neighborhood. You're talking about a particular neighborhood. Now, they may be talking about situations of unemployment. Maybe they're talking about situations of people being denied education or being denied higher pay or being shut out. There's a large pay gap versus certain people of color. But if you really, you really got to look at this now because there are some wealthy people who are black people who are entrepreneurs. They have their own businesses or they are, maybe they're making six figures. You just don't hear about these people. And then those that you do hear about are like mainstream people like Oprah Winfrey. You may have like certain individuals that stand out, Michael Jordan, if they're sports figures or big name people or they own a company, a chain of restaurants, whatever. Maybe they're part of Wall Street, who knows? You never really hear a lot about some of the people that are behind the scenes that make money as well. And they're people of color, and so they just kind of promote the bottom of the barrel. And so people kind of run with that. oh, you guys are poor, you know. And everybody is not in the same boat. They're not in the same circumstance. Um, what a black person in Arizona experiences versus a black person in Los Angeles might be totally different. Maybe they'll say, oh, it's a lot of racism happening here, but we've dealt with it for so many years. Oh, I don't feel like I'm being discriminated. You know, there are people who were raised in different cultural backgrounds. They might have been adopted by a white family, or they might have been raised around primarily white people. So they think maybe a different way. They have a different outlook on life than somebody that has been in a situation where they've been discriminated against people who happen to be white. So they may look at things a whole nother way. So when you get these people together and they have these heated debates and conversations, and they may start off one way and they don't end well, people get mad and they get their feelings all bent out of shape, and you gotta look at it from that standpoint of view, that that person may not know what it's like to be discriminated. They may have not experienced what you've experienced as a person going through something. Maybe you have several incidences that you can share, or that you know that right off the bat, you're just like, oh, I have this distrust with this particular group because I was denied jobs, I was denied education, or I was treated this way in the classroom, or they assumed that I didn't know certain things because of the color of my skin. And then this other person may have had a whole nother experience where maybe they weren't treated that way, or maybe they did not really realize that they were viewed a particular way because they've been so used to being in a situation where they feel as though they were included, despite the color of their skin. So there's so many ways to look at things. You have to flip, the cup around. There's half empty, half full, and some people just kind of just think one way. Now, I do know that there has been a lot of things that have happened. I read about history. You don't even have to sometimes read about it. Most black people have had something happen to them negative. Most have had some type of experience somewhere. Some may not have had as many, or they may not really be even aware, because you're dealing with a different generation of people as well too, because what happened in the 50s didn't happen in the 60s. What happened in the 60s didn't happen in the 70s. What happened in the 70s didn't happen in the 80s. And some things are different now, where people hide their racism. They hide their discriminatory practices, and they may have clever ways of masking it. And it just bewilders people, and they don't know how to receive it. So they just pass it off as, oh, this person is just rude. And then maybe it dawns on them later, I think they were treating me wrongly because I'm black, or because I'm, not white, or I'm not Hispanic, or whatever. Or I'm Hispanic. They're treating me wrong because I'm Hispanic, or I'm Latino. So it's like a lot of stuff happens to people in their lives. Everybody doesn't have the same set of experiences. It's like education's, everybody's has different experiences. So I believe when that heated debate turned into, it seemed like chaos, it pissed that one lady off with the dreads. And so I think she's made a series of videos behind all of that, because she felt really offended. She took it personal, because it was like 3 people that kind of really jumped on her case about her views. And I said this in a previous video, that she's entitled to her opinions. Now, it doesn't mean you have to agree with them. And I said I really didn't agree with everything she believes in, because I've seen some other videos she did previous to that whole incident. that broke out, and it was kind of like a warped sense of thinking. But then I had to say to myself and take a step back and think, well, maybe she grew up in a different environment. She had a different set of experiences, and or maybe that's her way of avoiding the whole concept of accepting the fact that black people are discriminated on some levels. Then maybe you know people that she's been used to living around. So it's who knows what it is. Some people, there's some people that know that there's hate out there and discrimination, and so how they deal with it best is to not accept it and to avoid it, or to say it doesn't bother me, or I don't internalize it, or so totally go do like a 180, like, oh, they're not talking about me. So they sort of like distance themselves from. It's just like somebody that's being abused, and then they just try to block that abuse out. And it's just like there's this movie they made called Detroit. I haven't seen it yet, but I think that people said it was a pretty controversial movie. It was pretty good, and it's pretty, it talks about a period of time in history with Detroit and an uprising, I believe. And so I kind of like to see movies about history and stuff like that. So I like politics type stuff, but I believe that there was this cop lady. She was one of the first African American female police officers. I believe she worked in Detroit, and she recounts that time. She said she wouldn't see the movie, so it was more personal to her. See, that's a perfect example. She knows what it's like to see people angry and fall apart over whatever it is, the controversy. I can't go into because I haven't seen it. Maybe some other people have seen it. They can do like their opinion, their critical opinion of the movie, what they took off from it. I'm sure we'll hear about it. She said she wouldn't see the movie, and it was personal for her. And so it's the same thing. It's like some people don't want to talk about racism. They don't want to talk about, how black people have been, lynched and discriminated. Some people want to talk about. They want to know why things are the way they are, why people are treated a particular way. Some people want to know because they want to be aware of who they're dealing with, or whom they're dealing with. They don't want to go in a situation with blinders on. I use that a lot lately. They don't want to feel as though they don't know what's going on. So if they don't get that job, or if they don't get into that school, or if they get into a school and they're competing with a certain group, okay, are we being treated fair? Are we going to get, good education? Are we going to, if we do complete this program, are we going to be hired? Are we going to be looked at as hireable versus someone who didn't go to college and didn't get the same education? So some people want to know where things originate. I don't think it's anything wrong with people wanting to know who they are, or what happened before they came here. It does explain. I believe it really has a lot to do with the way things are going. Even marriage. Like it used to seem like there was a time when everything was traditional. People would get married, meet that right person, get married, and everything works out. You have children, move into a house. It just doesn't happen that way for everybody. And I believe, people wanted to believe, oh, everybody is straight, nobody's gay. So it's just, everybody just kind of has this Because everybody's doing the same thing. They all go to church. Everybody's a Christian. Everybody's, bowing down to the sky god. And there's no Muslims. That's the way some people think like this. They thought that, it's only about what they believe in. There's nobody cheats. Just wait on the Lord and you'll find that perfect person. And that doesn't happen for everybody that way. And so now we have all these new things, which really aren't new. They've already been happening. It's just now people are more vocal. They're more emboldened about how they feel. They're coming out about their feelings, their personal life, how they've been living. You've got the gay marriage, you've got the open marriage, you've got the closed marriage, you've got we want a divorce right away, this isn't working, or we're just married for convenience. You've got these people who, you think they're super pro black, and they're trying to lead everybody like Malcolm X and all this stuff, but really you find out they're really just trying to, build up their pockets. They got deep pockets. They're trying to, get you to buy their books and things like that. And they're going on these nice trips, and they're eating, they're talking, and they're visiting all these places, and then they're telling you about all these things. That they're really intuitive, they're smart, maybe intelligent people, but they're using their wits and they're smart to get your money. And if you got like 100, 200 followers that are, just really diligently, they're putting out money and they're supporting your causes. And what your cause is, you might be saying things that they want to hear, and $5 from a month, maybe every week from each of these participants, you're cleaning up. And this is ongoing, so you're making a little extra income. And so you're able to, promote videos, you're able to do your PowerPoint shows, and you're able to tell people how you feel about, what your political opinions are, how you feel black women should be married to black men, and despite the craziness that's going on out there, promoting Black Love Blueprint videos, whatever. So it's just, I just feel like, there's a lot going on, and that is the reason why pretty much it's going to go in the direction where people are going to choose not to be married. Because they just say it's just too crazy out there. There's too much going on. People are not honest. There's not very many. You got to really, the ones that are honest, you have to give it time to run into those people, and it's not an overnight process, so you have to be patient. And those people who are, like just crazy, you have to just kind of wait until that unfolds. And then when you see the signs, oh, this person's, got some issues, you just move on with your life and just say, I don't feel I've lost anything because I never committed to that person. And so I believe that's the direction that everyone eventually will head in when all is done and said, because it has gotten really out of hand. I've seen some crazy stuff too. I'll just be honest, I was cool with the, I know some people weren't cool with the gay marriage thing. I was like, okay, these gay people, they want to be married or whatever, because that's cool, let them be married. But, then you see all these other people who come out and they do this crazy stuff. The one minute they're gay, the next minute they're not gay. I just don't understand that. I mean, just be who you are. Be happy with who you are, whether other people are not happy with you. You have to live your life for you. So what I realize is not easy for people to be in alternative relationships either. I noticed that over the years. There's drama with that as well. And I don't know if anyone has said this. I have a problem where I guess now that the marriage equality thing has come into play, you've got these lesbian rappers, and some of them they have this kind of persona about themselves. They're real trendy, and I'm not gonna say names. Some of them seem real tough or butch, but some of them, there's a few that they try to act as if they're like an actual man. And so they kind of make the mistake of doing the same thing that the old school rapper guys did, like calling women out of their names. And I know sometimes with music, it's hard to not cuss in rap music because, I think I was watching something, I don't know if it was SNL or something, where the rappers, they tried to do rap songs without cuss words and it just didn't sound right. I don't know if you saw that, but I thought it was kind of funny. But I maybe it's probably to promote their albums or whatever. But like, I know it's cool that everybody's happy now that they can kind of like be themselves. Some people are happy that they can kind of relax a little bit and be themselves. At least they have some support groups, but don't make the mistake of doing what guys have done to women, the misogynistic things. We don't want to have misogynistic lesbians. I don't know if that sounds right, where they sound like dudes and they're like, doing the same thing that dudes do that offend women. Isn't the whole point of being a lesbian is to do the opposite? Is to promote the womanhood thing, not to offend women and to be, you know, different, where you're actually celebrating being a woman, and you don't want to go down the same dark path. That's okay. That's just my opinion. If people would like, what did she mean by that? But if you are in that category, you would know what I'm saying by this. Like, but I don't know. I think because so much craziness is going on, I believe that we're going to go into a new direction at some point soon. They might even redefine marriage, the whole concept of it, to the point to where, somebody mentioned that people were marrying themselves. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know how that works out. But that might not be half bad. Especially with the Usher incident. Because it's just so much happening. And now, I'm going to say this. With people who do, I think it's sad. It's really sad because some people do have STDs that they can't get rid of. And I feel like, think about it, there is medication. And there's some people that they wait to get in a relationship with people they trust. And they do tell that their partner that something happened to them. Now, think about it. What if somebody was raped or they were assaulted sexually as a young person and they grew up with an STD that they couldn't get rid of? And so you have to think about that as well. And then they may not even have known that they had it until later in life. And so they might have had to live with this. Or somebody could have given them something and they didn't realize, they weren't aware, and they didn't know how contagious they were until they started managing their life with this, living their life with this. So some people are living normal lives despite having these illnesses or these confirming situations. So you got to think about that every situation isn't a doom and gloom story. I know people will say right off the bat, you'll have people say, oh, I don't want to catch that. I don't want anybody touching me and putting their hands on me who has a disease. I want to have a clean life and all that. But think about it. Some people have stuff and don't even know they have it. And they think that they're clean and they're not. They think they're clean and they haven't really checked themselves out and to find out, what is it that what kind of things have you been involved in that could have exposed you to something? There's a lot of different types of diseases out there. Some people, if you get sick, you can be in a relationship with someone and seems like everything is going well, and if you end up ill with something, they decide to leave you. How do you think that would make you feel if you were healthy when you met the person, and all of a sudden you got in a car accident and now you lost your sight, or you lost your your limbs, or you can't walk anymore, you're paralyzed? There are situations like that. Those type of incidences can really tell you who you're with, how that person really views being in a relationship with it. Would they be with you for better or worse? That's why they use that in the marriage vows, better or worse. Some people say that, but they don't really mean it. They get married with you when you look good, when they met you when you didn't have any kids, or when you looked like a supermodel, or you weren't old, and you you were in good health, and you were healthy. You didn't have heart problems. You didn't have any cancer. And people are mean. There's some people that are very mean. They they just want you when you're at your optimal health. But let something happen to you that changes your life. Are they going to stick by your side and be there with you when you get older, or when you have something that happens to you physically that you can't control? And it could be hereditary. People have health issues that are hereditary. And that person, maybe they were with you when you could see, and all of a sudden you start having eyesight problems. And she can't see anything anymore. I don't want her. I want to find me somebody else. And so these are the things, too, you have to consider when you get in relationships with people. So I don't know. This is a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and whether you did or not, but these are things to think about. Serious. It's like, I just think people don't really bring these concepts out, in these type of issues. So this is like a random schmandom video about, it had a little bit of the Usher thing in there. I couldn't get away from that, just seeing that picture of him in the courtroom. It was sad, but, until you gotta look at what kind of people were they? Were they promiscuous? What kind of people are they? I know I just went off on a tangent, but I don't know. It just that blasting photo of him, like he's up the creek without a paddle. But just relationship thing, and then then I said in another video that I was looking at something where a guy, he was saying, well, why aren't people staying married? Why aren't black people staying married, or black marriages staying together? See, let's get out of that, because you don't know what those people's lives are like, what's going on, and everybody's situation is not the same. You don't know. Like I just said, some people get married for different reasons, and then what if that person, they married you when you were in optimal health, but now that you're not healthy the way you started off, something happened to you, they left you, because she can't walk anymore. He's impotent. He can't do what he did when he was 20, whatever. Now I know that sounds, but there are people like that out there. You can't perform sexually, they'll leave you. If you don't walk anymore, they'll leave you. Or if you can't see anymore, they don't want to be bothered with that anymore. Or if you don't look 120 pounds like you did when you were in your 20s, or whatever, then now they're ready to move on, because they, he, he's got a beard gut. He didn't look like that when he was so and so, he's let himself go. Usually it's the other way around. Usually you find men that do that with women, where if the woman, she, has children and she's got baby weight on her and it just doesn't seem to go away, or it drops off and then it comes back and she has more kids and, she doesn't look the same way. He's ready to move on to, somebody else. Stuff like this happens and people don't realize that this is reality. So anyway, this good Sunday morning. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is just another random video I put out there because it's been a while since I've done any videos. So I wanted to experiment with this one, especially the sound quality, of course. But anyway, I just thought that it was just really, really important to put this out there because it's just kind of sad the way things are going with some folks. I don't think people really, really view relationships with a realistic view of what goes on behind closed doors. Just because people look like they're happy doesn't mean they are. And I don't know. This is probably the longest video I've done with just randomly talking, but it's kind of fun though, especially when you have all this stuff rolling around in your head. And I know there's a few people that are probably thinking, I kind of thought about the same thing myself, but I don't know. It's just, to be honest with you, I'm not really, I don't mind going to church. Sometimes I've gone, and other times I don't go. I'm not a big church head. Um, I'm not a religious freak or anything like that. I view myself as being more spiritual. I believe there's a higher power out there at some point that we can't explain. I think everything is cut and dry. I think there's always got to be something that you can always bring question to and, talk about it. I don't agree all the time with everybody. I know sometimes people probably won't agree everything that I say, and I'm fully aware of that. But I don't know. It's just the relationship thing. That's pretty difficult. That's the main point of this whole thing. Because I just, man, that is just it is. It's going in a total different direction than what it was before, and I think too, some people blow up the whole thing about marriage too quickly without looking at all of the things that come along with it. You Also the kids. Some people when you go into these relationships, the person, if they have children, the children are involved. I know people say, "Oh, the kids aren't the kids. They're like little tape recorders. They can see everything and they remember." And then if you don't have kids, are you desiring to have them? And then some people don't want to be with people who can't have kids. Some people will be with someone who can't have kids, and they'll invest in trying to get fertility treatment. It could be a whole nother ball game right there. So it's just, I think people just don't really, really, really look at what all's going on. There's a lot of warped sense of beliefs out there where, what I guess where I'm coming from is, there was this church I was going to. I don't go as often anymore because I disagree with a lot of things that they've kind of said out there. They would always promote marriage, and the only people you would see getting married were young people who really didn't have a lot of relationship experience. They hadn't really been out and had a lot of long-term experience, and they were young and fresh and new, and and then if it was older people, if it wasn't all, there wasn't very many of those marriages happening, and if it was usually people who they've been together forever, and that person just wouldn't commit, and finally when nobody else would commit to them, they just finally gave in and committed. And so I was seeing this and I was like, this is not really it's not a turn on at all. So I just kind of got out of it. I just didn't really, I was not that happy about it at all. And It just seemed really silly to me. But to some of the stuff that they were talking about, I don't know. I'm just not into the scripture thing. So I know and it's crazy because my mom, she was raised in the South, in southern. I guess maybe that's why. I guess because the South is like the Bible Belt, and like I just recently came from the South. Every corner there's a church. Baptist here, Baptist there. Everybody's practicing. Now, I'm not saying that everybody doesn't try to live that way and try to be good people. There are some good natured people that really do try in those churches. They try to help their community. They try to get out there. They try to help children. They try to promote positiveness. They try to, if you come in a time where you need something, they're there for you. They don't turn their back on you. Those are good places, people to get involved with. But if it's always like really negative, they're not really there to help, and it's always kind of like finger whipping people. It's talking about doom and gloom and hellbound. Like you got hell skis on, and you're going fast, straight down in burning flames. I just kind of not that intrigued by that kind of talk. I find it to be negative, and it's a turn off, and it makes you not want to go to those churches because they're not really making you feel comfortable being there. They're pretty much condemning you for every little thing you do. So anyway, with that being said, I like to say a good farewell and have a great Sunday afternoon, and ciao, arrivederci. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and peace.